the thing all of us musicians are being taught is, or all artists are being taught, is find your voice, right? I remember reading Keith Jarrett talking about this, going, everybody was telling him to find his voice, and he's going, I got my voice. I was born with my musical voice, and he was much more interested in what he can use it for, So I don't think I was born with it, but through my cultural influences, where I'm from, what I listened to as a kid, just the way I learned an accent. I have an accent. I have a voice, And when I want to do the blues in Thelma and Louise, I can do the blues, and it's still my voice. And if stick with Ridley, if I want to go and do faux Roman music in Gladiator, I can, or faux Wagnerian music. It still sounds like me. So rather than trying to find your voice, just acknowledge that it's there and just listen to it. It's like recognize it. I remember having some weird fight, undoubtedly about scheduling, which is where things usually get unstuck with me. With Gore Verbinski and my music editor, Melissa, coming in afterwards and she going, Gore's really pissed off. And he said, he'd fire your sorry ass, except for when you sit down and you play those moody chords, And so, and he's, yes, don't fire me because I'll play some moody chords for you that might. No, I don't play virtuistic, but I have an aesthetic and I have a feel, and when my fingers land on the piano, it's different than when somebody else's fingers land on the piano. I don't know if I believe in talent. People keep saying to me, "Oh, he's really talented," or "This guy is really talented," or "This woman is just an amazing talent." And then when I investigate a little bit further, it turns out it's just somebody who works really, really hard and really dedicated and makes their life about something they're passionate about. And at the same time, just being passionate about something doesn't mean you're any good at it. You see it all the time that you think somebody is a talent and they do something really remarkable, and you go, and what's the next thing you're going to do? And there's sort of nothing. That happens time and time again, where people can create one great thing and then it stops. And the whole point is, it's not maybe so much about talent, but it's about what's the next thing. The first thing, yeah, of course you're going to write the greatest album because you just, like as a teenager, when you join a band, your first 17 years of experience is all going to get packed into that first song. And yeah, there should be enough material there to make something great. Or the first movie you make, of course it's going to be great because that's all that. But it's the second movie which is tricky, and the third movie which is tricky. And I think that's where that's where the talent part comes in a funny way. That the talent to stay relevant, the talent to still have something to say, the talent to still find something that moves people. The thing I notice about the people I work with that I think are talented is they usually do it despite everybody's good advice. They grab something out of the air that nobody saw before. If you say to them, don't do this, they'll figure out a way of doing it. Or if you say to them, it's a bad idea, this is a terrible set of notes, don't play that. They'll play it and sort of suddenly, out of ugliness, create incredible beauty. And it's that sort of recklessness which I think it takes to manifest talent. So write as well as you can. Write to the best of your ability, and test the limits of your talent. because I have no idea if there's talent or if there's no talent, but I just see people constantly pushing beyond the boundaries that other people have imposed on them. One of the reasons, I was fascinated by wanting to do this was because one of the first things that really got me interested in film was seeing the documentary about Werner Herzog doing Fitzcarraldo, Burden of Dreams. And I remember going with a whole bunch of people, and we're all watching this, and they're all basically sitting there going, oh my God, look at this. This is just crazy behavior, and then one thing after the other goes wrong, and this guy is just plowing ahead, making this movie against, what was it? There was a war going on. Everything was going wrong. And all I kept thinking about was, I want to hang out with people like that, who are that passionate about things, that are doing things, that have this singular vision, this laser beam focus. All I know is the people that I come across that do great work are the people that ask the most questions. And they're by nature inquisitive. And they can be inquisitive about the weirdest things. I mean, you can have a conversation about all sorts of things with Werner. And there is a, he's darting around all over the place. And you get the sense that there is a huge, big, supra question that he's forever trying to ask, but he doesn't know what that question is. So he's looking at all these other little things that seem to feed into how to formulate the question, and all the people I know, all the people I've worked with that are really good at what they do and that keep making great music or making great films, they have a childlike inquisitiveness about them, a childlike innocence about asking the question, asking whatever question it is, and suddenly finding great joy in something that other people think is trivial. And despite, look, this is a musician's life. A musician's life is really simple. It's everybody tells you not to do it and get a real job, because everybody will tell you you can't survive, you can't earn any money at it, it's all over anyway. And then secretly, and I might be completely wrong, so this is supposed to be called masterclass as opposed to disaster class, right? But just for a moment, imagine that with all the new technology that's being invented and all the progresses in medicine and science we make and the economy and everything else, that all that stuff it's all very well, but it's not what I do. The only thing that I can find refuge in and the only thing that I can contribute to the world is tell you a story. And I have a feeling that when all is said and done and we've built the highest high-rises and we built the fastest machines, there's still going to be room for somebody to tell you a story or somebody to write you a piece of music. And I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm not a rocket scientist. But if I can tell you a story, if I can move you just with a couple of notes, I don't know if it's talent, but I didn't waste my time. And at the end of the day, I think that's what it's about, is are you wasting your life or you're not wasting your life? And when I see Werner Herzog in the jungle, under brutal conditions and putting people into brutal conditions, and I don't think anybody had a dull time. It wasn't boring what they were doing. They weren't wasting their time. And I think there's a lot to be said for that.